this. Let me know. Actually, is this too choppy? Should I restart this? Or is this, if you're there, I guess I should probably wait. Ooh, are you dizzy? Because I feel like it's choppy. And I should restart my entire device. And if you don't answer me, I'm probably going to restart it anyway and then go show you what's cool. Alright, we're going to be right back, I think. Try don't. So you know those woodpeckers just did that. Alright, if you're not here. Let me see. I'll go for a second. I will be right back. Kind of. Not really going anywhere. I'm going to set up my GoPro really quick. Alright. I gotta put my stunning shades on. I'm gonna go in quiet for now. I may see some fun stuff. Let me see one thing. You want to hear the baby woodpeckers? I'll give you one more listen just for a second, then we'll go on our way. I have no idea how that came out on the audio. I was just talking with a couple of neighbors. Their kid lost their frisbee there. So I may go put my waders on and go grab it after I take this hike. But I'm debating doing it now because it's only going to get darker. Let me know what you think. If I do that, I'm going to have to put this camera, my device, just kind of idle and let you enjoy a nice scene while I do that, because I don't want to bring my device in here. Or I could leave it kind of more right here and show the rescue, so to speak. Let me know. I'm going to go walk for a minute or two. I'm gonna do something a little different. Before I go on this next little leg of my hike, I'm gonna take a drink of water. Not bad, not bad. You may get lucky and the sun may decide to creep out. You never know. Oh, I see some. So when I was out here the other day, the one group was over there that I was filming, and I think that group over there with only like 2 or 3 ducklings is that other group that was over here. So I close my stuff up just in case it feels like it wants to rain a little bit. Put this up one more time. Slightly Skewed Productions. barn swallows. Let's go see what's going on over here before I go further on down. I don't take you guys here very often. Sun's trying over there. I love those guys. Plus a lot of what they're munching on when they're flying around like that is mosquitoes. Clouds all around, just about. I say I don't know if we will be able to actually see the sunset. But I mean, it's not like this is bad. Set this. There we go. The water is cloudy and muddy and ugly today because of the rain from yesterday. It's been kicking stuff up. Those little guys got no shame. I see some neighbors playing beach volleyball, which is in terms of playing is my favorite sport because I'm arguably better at volleyball than I was at playing hockey. I just enjoy hockey culture and watching hockey more than I enjoy volleyball in that regard. But beach volleyball is my favorite activity in that regard. Reminds me of California. Monday, depending on the weather, I'm kind of talking to myself again, but it's just a mallard. I want to come out and probably after I drop the girls off, I'm going to come put the GoPro in the water so we can try to catch guys like that. Literally, as I'm talking about what I want to do, I want to put the GoPro down about just above the... Heck, I just decided to fly right in front of me. No shame, no fear. Look at that. I feel like they're showing off now that they know I'm here, because now they're just starting to come more and more. But man, I want to get some of these guys on film, on video, whatever. on tape. Let's shut up and go for a walk. Let's watch these little guys show off for a minute. I apologize for the wind, but not much I can do about it. I just hope the wind things I have on here help a little bit. Oh. Look at that. Wants to come out. Ooh. I love those red-winged blackbirds when they take off. We're talking in a couple streams ago about those red-winged blackbirds, how they, like I mentioned, will just kind of hang out on on those bouncy reeds and branches and the such. Like a red-winged blackbird. for next to no sun getting through, it doesn't look that bad. I wonder. No shame. Gotta grab that dude out of midair. Mallards going their own way. I got a bad feeling about this. I think we shall. I just tend to talk less when there's not much going on in the chat or anything. You need to be mindful when you're older and you're going for walks, because you get all overzealous. You go out, you get to some point you're all proud about, and you sometimes forget that you then have to walk all the way back home. If I'd have known I was going to do this, I would have worn my walking shoes and not my hiking boot shoe things. Like they say, there's 2 seasons in Michigan. There's winter and then construction season. I'm going to start heading back in about 10 or 15 minutes, which means I'm going to have about a 20 or 30 minute walk back. That's almost an hour. So I may want to... no, it's not. Oh, wow. That's the basketball court in the apartment complex. Or the volleyball court, that is one is. I think? Yeah. I don't know if there is sidewalk in this way. And I don't know if I care or not. There's never only one way. Debating if I want to continue on or go back. I think I'm going to head back. In fact, I'll do that because it's going to leave a nice view there. Let me see, I'm assuming, let's see. Want to real quick set this up a little higher. Try to get a little more of the sky. When the camera is just up like that, I can't see the screen as well, so I tend to want to tip it back down to be able to see the screen. But I got to get acclimated to doing this. In fact, when I walked past these pipes, I wanted to do something. I started to do it, but a little bit late. Part of me wants to hurry up because I kind of have to pee. But I also don't care because I know that I have a Marine Corps issue bladder, so I'll be good. But that is so neat. I'm just fascinated at the view across from here. It's right across to the apartments. Man, wires aside and construction and 7-Eleven aside, it's not a bad view. I don't want to get myself in there, but I think the view is nicer behind me. hang out for a minute or two. Actually, with all the car noise, I'll just hang out for one moment. I didn't realize it was going to be that loud. Forget myself. I just want to be able to focus there behind me, but it's hard for me to walk and pay attention to everything at the same time. Let's do it justice. And rip your eyes away from that. This scene is pure Michigan right here. 'Tis the season. I'm curious what this is going to look like after that cloud bank or cloud system goes by. Should we wait? What's up? How you guys doing? Enjoying the weather. Take care. Enjoying the weather.
Oh yeah, it's a nice day, man.
Yep, take care, guys. Yeah, let's wait. Let's wait till the sun comes back out. See what that looks like. Pure Michigan. Good Marines don't exhibit random outbursts of violence. We use the continuum of force, which means we only reply or respond with the correct amount of force in response. Like when we have to choke out somebody on a subway station. It's not our intent to kill. If a Marine gets behind someone and they don't expect it, the situation would be different if they were trying to outright murder someone, like that New York situation. I'm glad to see a lot of the response for that Marine. It's not always easy being a hero. I hope that looks as nice as it does through my eyes, because I can't really see it. And that's the problem with the news today. The news today should be DA steps down after overwhelming response. It is one thing I think Americans lack with some of that stuff, is the follow through or the commitment. Again, I try to speak with where I send my money now, and I don't want to send my money to places who call me names and backhanded things the moment they get my money, or use my money to make commercials to tell people how, because of my skin color or my sex, I'm a this or a that. Did you, in fact, Ninja, hear anything about, there was it came to a time where the NHL, borderline, they were on the edge of where I was debating whether I was going to be able to watch hockey or not, because they had their kind of, oops, their moment with wokeness. And that was when that hockey player, I guess he refused to wear that political statement on his jersey. And it was a big to-do. Oh, I was just traveling to Elizabeth. All you really miss is me not saying much and walking around. I did a pretty big loop, and I kind of forgot that I'm supposed to have to go to the bathroom. I kind of have to pee. And this is a pure Michigan sunset. Complete. I literally came here to make sure the traffic sign was in here, in the scene. Yeah, those guys looked awesome. Well, I think it was just the big one in the second picture. Owls always intrigue me. Exactly, Ninja. And that's why I tell people now, just speak with your dollar, and it doesn't always have to be where your dollars go. It's just as important as where you don't put your dollars. It's funny because I was listening to Jimmy Dore and that comedian, I forget his name, but they were basically laughing at people who talk about sustainability when they think of things. And with this whole politicization of lifestyles, what a lot of these companies don't understand is when they appeal to what demographically is 1 to 2% of the population, and they do it while sacrificing the population base, you get that initial flux of income, but then you start to realize that's not sustainable because you've just alienated your base, your the popular, the people who supported you that whole time, to appeal to someone who just want to buy something because you said some lifestyle versus another was more acceptable at some point. And those people are not fans of the intellectual properties, the storylines, the characters, the universes, the mental energy that went into creating those things. They just wanted to give their little, I went to see the movie one time, I bought the one comic, I ate the food, and then they check out. And there's no sustainability there. So they write off massive swaths of population and push them away to try to appeal to a 1 to 2% population base that even in their entirety, if they did devote themselves, would not outdo the income that you sacrificed trying to appeal to that minority. And it's an interesting game that you just see companies realizing. And me and my sister talk a lot about sustainability, and she actually references a biblical quote that I can't recall the exact wording, but it's something akin to that which cannot sustain itself will not, which is just almost Sun Tzu-like in its simplicity, and it's the way it's applicable to war, to economies, to lifestyles, to mental energy, and all of that. I'm gonna start heading in, so we'll have about 20 minutes or so. 10 minutes, I don't know, depends on how slow or fast I walk. see if I can give you guys a little bit of that as I walk by, or before I walk up into the neighborhood. Styx Hexenhammer has his clank. Maybe this could be my little clank thing with my when I do my walking. Yeah, surprise with that owl. And no worries, I'm not talking. I was not talking a lot during most of the stream. I tend not to talk unless there's someone here actively saying something or if there's something to point out. What was it that Pony Boy said? Can you see the sunset from the south side? To which I think she said yes. And Pony Boy responded, you can see it from the north side okay too. Let's see, this dog just flew off. There was a cardinal. Signs of life. Someone's been at me up there. My dream would be that building you see off in the distance is let me get out of the street for a minute, actually. Standing here, but I would love, that's a senior citizen home. So I doubt they'll let me near it with COVID regulations and all that, but I would love to just be able to go up there and film sunrises and sunsets. That would be like a dream for me. Yeah, that's Ninja was asking about the same thing. In fact, it's kind of funny because this happens all the time, but generally speaking, when I'm out on my walks in the forest area, you don't hear it obviously because it's all, I almost said substrate, but soil and dirt and all that. How you doing?
All right, brother.
I'm getting there. Take care. In fact, kind of like now, huh? I go silent mode. Nature is my silencer. I hope you enjoyed the sound because the rest of the way home, aside from like this, is going to be walking through the grass. It's actually warmer now than it was when I went out. Here, I'll stay on the sidewalk for you nerds as long as I can. I think the pool's opening up next week, which I don't care about remotely. Aside from the fact that the girls love it. I mean, I don't personally care about it because I'm not going in it. A little bit of sun for you. I missed that entire comment. I'm gonna go up here, take a moment. That's actually kind of neat with the stick. Before I would invest, I was trying to show those ducks, but I wish someone would, like, someone who does stuff like that, or a woodworker would sit down. I'd like to make a custom stick because this one's not perfect, but maybe one day. Well, the only thing I could say in regards to that is I hope you guys can see those barn swallows actually also right in front. Man, that's awesome. I hope that passes soon. I mean, there's no reason to, but you have your reasons, I'm sure, so I'm not trying to discount them, but we all have bodies. I don't know what it is, but watching birds preen themselves, to me, is just fascinating. I can't imagine cleaning myself with my mouth so thoroughly. But the way cats and dogs do it seems disgusting, but for some reason when birds do it, it just does not seem as gross to me anyway. And can you see those birds flying right in front? Jeez, man. I love those guys, those barn swallows. They are my favorite. I don't know what's more fascinating, watching them preen and eat or watching those guys just fly by, zoomed in so distinctly you can see them. Man, look at that, as I'm talking about them. These little guys are show-offs. I'm telling you, I think they know it. I honestly just think they flaunt the fact that part of it's that I think I'm out here so frequently that they know I'm not going to take a swing at them or anything like that. But I just love that. Because I swear, some of these times... Oh, let me try and get this, because this color is so awesome right here. Look at me, guy. Come on, you were just looking this way. I want you to see that orange. I got another one. Dueling blackbirds. You're showing off right now. I don't feed any of the animals directly yet. I want to look at what's good and bad for them. Like those, oh my goodness, I gotta go check on something. Like those woodpeckers, I want to get a look into what they can eat. I know they have those feeder things. I don't know what they're called, sway or sweat. I think it's suede, but SUET feeders, like the bars you put food in. So I want to look into that and putting one out right either on that tree or by it. Hey, I heard that basically bread is, well, I heard not bad for ducks, but like if they're raised on only bread, it malnourishes them. Where it's just like kind of us eating bread. It's not the best thing to eat bread all the time only. But there's not much nutritional value in it for them. I left my GoPro up in the tree by the woodpeckers, hoping I can hear them. But worst case, I just have about 40 to 50 minutes of some nice scenes with some guys driving around with occasional loud engines. What kind of music is it? And what kind of neighbors? I always say it's because, having neighbors that live literally on the other side of a wall in an apartment is different from having neighbors a couple houses or a couple 100 yards away in a house. The level of inconsiderateness varies. Inconsiderateness. Oh no, I can't get too much of it. Yeah, I'm very fortunate for a few reasons, and mainly the first is that I'm not the tallest or biggest guy by all means, but I'm 6'2" and I'm not thin. Then I have military training, then I always carry my pistol, so generally speaking, I don't mind asking people very nicely, please turn the music down. But I also try to be considerate because I know I always say try to think of the other person's perspective. They may not know, they may not think it's that loud. They may be relaxing on a Saturday like it is. And not that it makes it right for them doing it, but this may, it doesn't sound like you're saying it's only one day a week. It sounds like they're just being inconsiderate. But I always try to say, in their defense, if nobody asks someone to stop, people don't have a reason to stop. And it's not always out of malice. It can be out of ignorance, and that's not as bad as malice. Ignorance being you just don't know better. And if they're younger, when young people are young, we're stupid. We do things, I guess should say, we're inconsiderate about that stuff. All right, you guys, ready? I'm going to go grab my GoPro up there. But I'm going to put the phone up to see if we can hear those little guys in the woodpecker nest. You ready? We're going to do it in 10, 9, B, W, X, and then 0. Let's see if we can hear some little baby woodpeckers. A little bit. Get up out of their business. I am going to sleep good tonight. And that sucks. I always, having to call the cops, I always say never call the cops. But that's with a huge asterisk in that um, I say I try to give people the benefit of a doubt. Sometimes, like whether it's people, I've had people, like you're talking about, be inconsiderate with noise. I've had people let their dogs just poop and leave it, or people dump garbage. And I always say, I'm going to assume at that moment that person did not know better. I'm going to approach the fact that maybe for some reason as an adult, they were never taught you don't just throw your garbage down on the ground, or that you don't just let your dog poop where people walk. You pick it up. Maybe no one ever told that to them. And I'm going to help them at that moment by telling them to do that. And I always look at it like this. In my apartment complex, if I see someone let their dog poop, I could go and tell the people who run the place and get those people in trouble and maybe have them pay a fine. But if I know it's not apples to apples, but if like I was on my porch with all of my sticks and my wood, and the neighbor below me was getting mad because maybe my dirt or stuff was falling onto his porch or something like that, what I would wish and hope is, or maybe my kids were out there playing and their markers were falling or something, or they were too loud. Whatever the issue is, I would hope my neighbor would come to me and say, "Hey, can you have your kids stop that, or can you clean this up, please?" Because my thing is, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, if I would have known that was falling down there, I wouldn't have done it. I apologize." Whereas most people will kind of go "Oh, well, who are you?" or go get defensive about the fact that they just got caught being uncivilized. And like I say, at that moment, if they want to play the game after that, I'll call the police on them. But I always try and give someone the chance to say, and now if we want to get more nice about it, maybe they were walking out to put their garbage out and they, like me, I have my days where my back is destroyed. And maybe that was so heavy they couldn't put it in there, or they dropped it and they couldn't pick it up, or maybe their dog, they just got home from work and the person themselves literally had diarrhea, or their kid was inside sick. And this is the one time that they got caught, but generally speaking, that's not the case. So, but I always try to just kind of approach things like that, at least initially. But like you're saying, your situation sounds different, that there's more history, but that's how I initially try to approach everything. Not, I try to help that person because obviously no one else has, and they didn't learn that lesson before. So I'm helping them. Life is very complex the more you think about stuff like that. And that is like if you're saying it's after, if it's outside of those hours too. I deal with a lot of that as a veteran, um, with fireworks. Fireworks bother me, and it's part PTSD, it's part hyper anxiety, but or hyper focus and anxiety. But I try to be understanding of the fact that, again, I know the laws here, and again, I try to approach people like that. So again, if it's outside of hours, I just ask them, and it's to the point where, like I say, I in my old life where I would go out there and politely ask them, and hey, can you guys stop because it's kind of after. And again, I know our ordinances, so specifically, you guys are, it's past 10 p.m. and it's outside of the days that you guys are supposed to be lighting them off, and I have kids that are up there sleeping, but they can't because you're lighting off fireworks at 11 o'clock. So can you stop? And they'll say, "Oh, what are you going to do? You're going to call the cops?" And I'll be like, "No, I was not intending to, or I would have stayed inside and called the cops. But if you want, I'm going to call the cops right now and have them, I'll wait right here in front of your house to have them come here and cite you and ticket you." But I don't want that. Again, what I was hoping is we would have civil discourse like neighbors, and the conversation would go, "Hey, can you please stop? Because I don't, my kids are sleeping." And like a good neighbor, you would say, "Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize." But obviously, again, you want to go the route, "I'll call the police and wait right here, and I'll sign the ticket as a witness to make you pay." Is that what you would rather have? Because it seems to me that, yes, that's where you would like this to go. It's amazing how quickly people shut up when they realize how stupid they're being in that situation. And I say, let them talk. But I always try to present them with the situation of like, I'm giving you the chance to be civil, to be a good neighbor, to be a good person. Maybe you forgot what time it was. And I've had people like apologize. Oh, I'm sorry. We just got off of work. And like, I remember one specific, like, do you mind if we light off this one more? I'm like, no, my kids are awake. I was like, just, can you wrap it up after that? I try to be civil with that. But like you're saying, it stinks having those people who don't understand the social contract and what it means to be a part of society. Yeah. Society has degraded and become too like I think you and I talked that one time about what again in my opinion that in my words that diversity is a sham when it's forced and legislated and coerced and at gunpoint and at threats of shaming and fining and social ostracization. That's not what diversity is at all. And when you pretend it is, we just, again, we don't trust each other. We don't have, like we're saying now, the same values, the same cultural ideas, the same places we want our kids to be at. And that is where, again, that's not true diversity. That's forcing people together when they don't want to generally be around each other. And I will say, I think just a personally a big problem is males have lost their sense of responsibility. And I think I was talking to you briefly about this, Ninja. Males today think that doing a job, getting an occupation and a career is the same thing as your duties and your responsibilities to things like your family and to society. Whereas you can have a job, a perfectly good job that actually is beneficial to society, but yourself be detrimental and a drain on society. And the opposite is true also. You have to find balance in that. And I think males they've gotten complacent in things like that. Masculinity has been too negatively stigmatized. And even when I say that, like, you won't hear me bash femininity. Femininity and masculinity are just different. I think if you just, again, you have the freedom to appreciate diversity as opposed to blind acceptance and like worship of diversity, I guess, or the fact, like I say, that it's the most important thing. It's not. It's often arguably, I think, again, you and I had that conversation, Ninja, about how often diversity can be incredibly detrimental to societies. And again, it's generally speaking, and this is where I say, like, if you look back historically, people get acclimated to being around one another. It does take time and it's not easy and it's never 100%, but it's often, it can be less conflict letting things work out naturally than trying to force them into existence. I wonder what it looks like over here. Oh no. But I'm happier than ever and more confident than ever that things are going in the right directions. The interesting thing about just the internet itself is that I believe it forces what I would consider true diversity again. It's the fact that if I want to learn right now about Simon's culture in the UK, or if I want to talk to somebody in Israel, or if I want to live stream in conversation with someone in Saudi Arabia, I can go out and seek those things and experience them. But again, that's the difference, is when society itself seeks that diversity as opposed to trying to force it on others as if that's genuine. I can't draw for the life of me. I'm not very art-brained. And how is that isopod, all the isopod projects going? Can't do it. That's them in the nest. It sounds like a small engine. Is that coming out okay, the audio? That's awesome. I'm going to wrap up here shortly. I'm going to go in and relax. I'm going to be up at about 6 or 7 in the morning getting ready for the kiddos to come by. I'm about ready for a nap. I'm not a fan of horses. I don't like, there's a few animals I like that everybody loves that I'm not a fan of. Horses, pandas, dolphins. I'm not a. Well, my rule in nature is first and foremost, I'm not a fan of any animal that can kill me. But the reasons specific are going to sound very mean. But they are evolutionarily, they just don't make sense. They're bears that are not adept at eating what they do. They've changed their entire lifestyle to something that is so incredibly not optimal. They can't take care of their young, generally speaking, because of their diet. Their camouflage, their pattern is just again intuitive to how they should naturally be. I just not a fan. I wish them the best, but just not a fan. What was that? Mallards, I think. It's almost 2100 and it's kind of late. I don't know if I'm going to eat when I go in. I try not to eat past like 2000 unless it's times like this where I've been out actually doing something. So I think I'm going to wrap up in 5 minutes, about the hour 50 mark-ish. Unless you all start leaving. But I'll just... And hello, by the way, Pixie. Hope you're enjoying a little bit of this. Today wasn't the most fun day. We didn't get to see any minks or coyotes or anything wild like that, but I did go for a nice walk. I'm trying to think if I've done a day where I've done 3 streams, aside from ones where my stupid GoPro broke and I had to restart streams, stuff like that. But I don't think I've done 3 legit streams in a day. The hat trick. Speaking of hat tricks, another hockey game yesterday went in overtime, but I think that one ended in the first overtime. I'm wondering if I should go. No, I don't need to. Maybe one day we'll start a stream about now and go for a walk right about now. What do you guys think? I'm going to be out in about 2 minutes, so I may not be back when you're done. If not, I hope you have a good one. And I'm sure I'll see you around in one place or another. Two minutes. 2 minutes, I, sir. How did that go? I'm going to say something I haven't said since boot camp. When we used to have senior drill instructor, Staff Sergeant Owens, when we would go hit the rack every night, if it was Friday, he would have us where you and your rack mate would pick up one side of your foot locker and pound it down. And right before I end this, I'll do it, but I'll pound to the rhythm of it. But we would pound we were on the third deck, so it would basically, as we would pound the foot lockers down on the ground, it'd be a loud mess for the platoon below us on the second deck. So we basically did it partly to be jerks, but partly to be motivated. But every night when he would be there, if it was a Friday, I just heard the woodpeckers in there. We would hit and then we'd say, "When I die, bury me deep. 245s by my side. Drill, drill, drill. Kill, kill, kill." And we would slam the foot lockers down and scream that at the top of our boot camp lungs. And that was just a blast. I miss those days. That was Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Owens, not to be confused with Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Cedeno. When I die, bury me deep. 245s by my side. Drill, drill, drill. Kill, kill, kill. Oh, good times. Well, guys, this stream's going to be ending soon. And like I say, you don't have to go home, but you got to get up out of here. Thanks for hanging out. Hope everything is going well with you. You're taking care of yourselves and the ones you love. You have any last remarks? Speak now or forever hold your peace. And we will catch you guys on the next one.